Yo, how's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Miles here. Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 6 commentary. Today, I wanted to give a official, kind of farewell to the game as Black Ops 7 releases in just a few hours for those who are playing in New Zealand and stuff like that. I actually did the New Zealand method myself. I'm on PS5, so all I apparently had to do was change my console's location to New Zealand. Sorry, not console location, my Activision account to New Zealand. So I went ahead and did that. And yeah, I think I am good to go to play the game early, but I'll let you guys know otherwise. Anyways, I have been sincerely struggling. That's probably not the right word, but I've been struggling immensely to make content lately, just mainly because of the fact that I don't really know what to make it on. You know, earlier in the year, Black Ops 6 was doing so bad, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to start getting back into retro gaming, and that's pretty much why I've bought the amount of old-school video games that I have in the last, year or two. But I just played Battlefield 6 for the first time today. I know it's weird that I'm saying I played Battlefield 6 for the first time today, because it's been out for, a month, but I am not really a Battlefield fan. I played Battlefield 3, 4, Bad Company 1, Bad Company 2, Hardline, you know, I played all of those games, and they weren't bad. I like Battlefield for the campaign, for sure. It's just, in terms of first-person shooters and multiplayer, it was always Call of Duty for me. Call of Duty was always the multiplayer mode that, the multiplayer type that I wanted to play when it came to, first-person shooters. But I don't hate Battlefield 6, it's just, definitely an adjustment in terms of, how you play the game compared to Call of Duty. I would say COD is definitely more of a run and gun type of game when there's a lot of people in Battlefield 6 playing tactically, and it was annoying me, to be completely honest with you, because I really don't like people that camp. But I guess that's just Battlefield's dynamic, is, you know, the less skilled, the less sophisticated individuals who just want to kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy a shooting experience are going to play Battlefield. But I didn't hate it, honestly. The maps were pretty cool. They looked a lot more vibrant and colorful than Call of Duty. The only thing I'll say I had an issue with were the insane amount of settings in Battlefield. I mean, it's fucking crazy how many different settings there are for that game, and I don't think it needs to be that complicated, but I had to watch 3 YouTube videos just to get the correct settings for this game, and I don't think that should be the scenario. But yeah, anyways, let's talk about Call of Duty. Black Ops 6 was a fun game. I will give it that. And I wanted to make this video. I got two games here. I believe the next one is Nuketown. And I just wanted to, I don't know, just talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. And yeah, just give an official farewell to Black Ops 6. Now, unfortunately, during COVID, I did not play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and I think I probably would have had a better experience with Black Ops 6 had I played Cold War, because I've seen gameplay from Cold War. It looks very similar to Black Ops 6, aside from the omni-movement factor. But I liked it. I mean, I liked, the small map mosh pit mode, even though skill-based matchmaking was probably the worst I've ever seen in this video game. Small map mosh pit was fun. I think besides the fact that a lot of these maps were AI generated and had just odd lanes that didn't really logically or physically make sense, besides that, and the spawn points obviously being cancerous as well, I genuinely enjoyed small map mosh pit. I think the choice of guns in this game were pretty cool. I like how they brought back a lot of OG guns from Black Ops 1 and stuff like that. In general, this just felt like a more realistic and remastered version of Black Ops 1 with microtransactions. And Black Ops 1 will have a very special place in my heart, because that game feels very, very fun to play. Even today, it still holds up, even though movement speed is obviously much different in Black Ops 1. Besides, the guns be liking the guns and small map mosh pit, I gotta say, there was a big L in terms of the multiplayer game modes that you could choose from in this game. I think gun games should have definitely been added sooner and kept in the game permanently, instead of being a a substitution party game mode. Same thing with Sticks and Stones. I mean, those game modes were just fun. Like, I enjoyed playing those, but it's just no one's in game chat anymore, which is the biggest problem for me. I think if Call of Duty could find a way to get players back in voice chat, maybe if you take away the computer-generated voice banning system, people would be in game chat, but Call of Duty is just too isolated in terms of game chat, and with Black Ops 6, it was just a very lonely experience when it could have been a lot more fun. There could have been a lot more chatter amongst other people in game chat, but there just wasn't, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, the maps were okay, like I said. Some of them were cool. Some of them were just blatant rip-offs of other Black Ops maps, like the yacht map was just fucking terrible. I like how they brought back some Black Ops 3 maps. They brought Fridge back. They brought back other maps as well. Nuketown this year looked like Black Ops 1 Nuketown, which is pretty cool. It was kind of like a fresh new restart. In general, I think Black Ops 6 served its purpose. You know, last year was a dark year for me, and I was just grinding Call of Duty by myself. Although skill-based matchmaking, like I will probably say 5 or 6 or 800 more times in this video, skill-based matchmaking definitely ruined the flow of this game, and so did the microtransactions. I mean, the amount of bullshit I saw in the item shop this year just really depressed me, and I think it made me a little detached from like the idea of this game. I think in order for a game to be successful, you have to hold on to its identity as much as possible. And what I mean by that is, if it's a first-person shooter game based off of the Gulf War, make sure it captures that environment. It captures that essence. I think Battlefield 6 did a great job capturing the pure heart of what Battlefield stands for. You know what I mean? Like, although, yeah, you can create a class in Battlefield 6, which I don't necessarily like, because I think the addition of the Battle Pass, the skins you can buy in the store, I mean, they're blatantly copying Call of Duty, which is blatantly copying Fortnite. I think every first-person shooter should have a store, yeah, but it should be for camos and, like, I don't know, like original operator skins from, like, other versions of the game. Like, if I could buy a Battlefield 4 operator skin, cool, I would fuck with that, but you know, the colors are just a little vibrant, and I'm just not a fan of bright colors with these mature shooter games. I think, yeah, you should have like if you could keep it like Advanced Warfare Black Ops 3 level schematics type blueprints type loot, you know what I mean? I don't think Battlefield 6 has overdone it, but the Battle Pass is just like no thanks. Same thing with Battlefield Pro. I think they're just trying to get money out of people, which is kind of sad, because, like, come on, Battlefield. But like I was talking about Black Ops 6, in general, the game just flowed pretty bad. Lobbies were obviously very inconsistent because they were disbanding, and it was, like I said, just quiet. You know, I never really heard people on voice chat. Whenever I'd say one thing, you know, I would get banned for 14 days. Teammates were non-existent in this game. I mean, in older Call of Duties, yeah, obviously teammates were really never a factor. I would say if you play COD, you're most likely someone who just likes to run and gun, but like teammates were just so non-existent. People were so stupid in this game. I would be running into the enemy spawn. I have a teammate on my left, and he just doesn't know what's going on while I'm, you know, trying to do everything like Master Chief. And yeah, I mean, I won't lie, this is probably one of the most toxic video games I've ever played, mostly because of Omni Movement. I've said this in previous videos, but I'm just not a fan of Omni Movement. Never was, never will be. Movement in this game was too fast, and I think if they had slowed it down a little bit, it would have been a more enjoyable experience for everybody. I don't mind Omni Movement in Warzone. It makes sense for the Battle Royale game mode, keep it there, but for Omni Movement to be in multiplayer the way it was by default, it was just very, very annoying for me, and I think that players had too much of an ability to jump around and crawl around like little rats, and especially if you're playing like a lot of people did in this game, where they'll hold hands with their boyfriend or their girlfriend, you know, and just run side by side. It's very hard to 2v1 against that when you're playing Omni Movement. And like, I'm not a movement demon. I'm not gonna like go ahead and do 360s and slide in and out of doorways just to try and avoid a gunfight. If two people are shooting at me, I'm gonna shoot at one guy and then try and slide and shoot at the other guy. You know what I mean? Or try and just shoot, dodge, and get to the other guy before it's too late. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory why this game sucked. Skill-based matchmaking was horrible. Inconsistent lobbies. Voice chat was non-existent. Crossplay in general, I just think is stupid for multiplayer. Like, I understand crossplay if you're gonna play like Warzone, but for multiplayer, crossplay should be off by default. And if you want to play with your friends, you should have to turn that on. I don't know why it's on by default. I'm not sure if Battlefield 6 has a crossplay feature. I haven't figured that out yet. They probably do. But this game just like really made it hard to see it as a Black Ops title because of just how weird the microtransactions and the skins were and the gun blueprints. You had unicorns farting rainbows and shit. At the end of the day, I'll just never be a fan of that. I think if you're going to be a Call of Duty game and you're going to be a successful Call of Duty game at that, there are certain rules and parameters that you have to follow, just like Battlefield, just like GTA, just like any AAA title that was ever popular to begin with at any point in time. There's a certain standard, a certain set of rules that I think needed to be followed, and Black Ops 6 just didn't do that job in terms of following those rules and regulations, if that makes sense. I think there was so much potential for this game, but a lot of people said pretty early on into the Black Ops 7 leaks that Black Ops 6 was really just a beta, or let's say a testing grounds for what Black Ops 7 is going to be. But you know, with Modern Warfare 3 2023 being like the is all be all for the Modern Warfare series, like it's the moneymaker, right? Like Modern Warfare 2 sucked, Modern Warfare 19 was all right. I know a lot of people cherish that game in their hearts, but to me it was just like whatever, bro. You know, like I played a lot of Modern Warfare multiplayer, MW 2007, so like the same maps and shit. It was just, to me, it was like, I don't know, I'd rather just play original Modern Warfare. But Modern Warfare 3 gives me similar vibes to Black Ops 6 because there were some good things. Like they definitely modernized the Black Ops franchise and, you know, gave an opportunity for another younger generation to enjoy the same sort of experience that I did with Black Ops 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, I really just wish I played Cold War because I think I would have had a deeper appreciation for this game, just because the engines that Call of Duty runs on nowadays is so different than the engines that I'm used to being played on from like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, World at War, original Modern Warfare trilogy, stuff like that. So this is the first COD game I played in like 6 years. So jumping from Black Ops 3 movement all the way to like this, for me it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. It's been so long since I've played Call of Duty, and you know, at this point you can pretty much expect when you're getting into a gunfight that you're not going to fight one person. It's going to be a guy in front of you, then a guy flashes from the left or the right or behind you, and you just got to be constantly head on a swivel, and honestly, it was very frustrating because I couldn't ever really find the time to just sit down and relax and casually play COD. You know, what makes these games fun is because you could frag out, try really hard, and then when you're playing with your friends, you don't have to try as hard, and you can just fuck around and have a good time. That's what gaming used to be about. Gaming used to just be about having a good time, and some people took it seriously, some people didn't, some people were just naturally gifted at these things. But me, I'm only really as good as I want to be when I'm trying my ass off, like trying as hard as possible, just like completely losing all sense of respect for myself and just slouching over and playing like I have no future, even though I really don't, because this is all I do in my free time besides basketball. But I mean, I'm not really a fan of stim shots. I'm not really a fan of omni movement. I know I said I was going to say that again. And a big factor of this game is just like rapid stimming, you know, rapid sliding, stuff like that, tack sprinting, and those things for me made it really hard to enjoy the game, on top of the horrible skin selection. I also just hated the campaign. I think a campaign really sets the tone for a game, if that makes sense. Like, for example, Black Ops 2, I played the campaign before anything else, and after that, like, there was nothing about the multiplayer that could have possibly disappointed me, because the campaign was just so cinematically perfect. And most games, you know, the multiplayer maps are certain different spots from the campaign. So, like, the Black Ops 6 multiplayer maps, for a good chunk of them, were from the campaign. And I didn't like the campaign because the story just makes no sense. It was not really about the Gulf War. I don't really like how, because of Warzone, they try and make the single-player story, like, compatible with what's going on in Warzone, or they try to end the single-player story so it can add on via Warzone. but that just makes no sense. Like, Warzone is a battle royale game mode. I get that Fortnite has its own cinematic universe, but like, if you want to have a cinematic universe for Warzone, so be it. But don't blend it in with the campaign. Like, the campaign is probably the most important mode because that sets, like I said, sets the tone and sets the mood of what the game is all about. Games like World War II, Call of Duty World War II, you know, Black Ops 3, Cold War were good games because the campaign really impacted people. I played Cold War campaign on PC because back during COVID, I had a PC. I didn't play on console. And all I really played back then was Fortnite, GTA, and 2K. Like, I didn't really play Call of Duty during this time. I don't know why. I kind of just, like, as soon as I became a teenager, which, like, I was 12 when Fortnite came out, so when I became like 13, 14, I was still playing Fortnite. And then by the time I was 15, the PS5 had come out and I had discovered like role-playing games like Skyrim. I mean, I always knew about those role-playing games, but I never really played them until I got PS5 because PS5 has, like, in my opinion, the largest selection of RPG games available. So I just started playing RPG games, started playing 2K, you know, my career, stuff like that, GTA. So I kind of lost touch with Call of Duty for a while, and I gotta say, I have to thank Black Ops 6 for getting me back in the loop. If it wasn't for Black Ops 6, I don't think I would have started my YouTube channel. So I really do appreciate Black Ops 6, and I loved the score streaks. I love my Watchdog Helo. I love the Death Machine. You know, very memorable score streaks. Obviously, they're old score streaks from previous games, but the score streaks were fun. I think that had they fixed the spawns, and the way they fix that is just by removing omni movement so people can't sprint across the map in 3 seconds, and, you know, made it so people wouldn't get banned in voice chat for saying fuck, so people are talking in voice chat, and if the lobbies stayed together, so people were, you know, still in the same lobbies with the people that they were in the game before, I think that had they simpled things down just a little bit more, this game would have been very fun. Call of Duty tries to advertise to too many people. They claim they're a mature video game, but they advertise to middle schoolers and early high schoolers who, you know, are just all about the aura, all about the vibes, all about the accessories. And I think as you get older, like as I turn 19 and 20, I realized that games aren't fun based off of what skin you have or how cool your gun looks. It's about how you play. It's about how you react to the situations, how good your reaction time is, how good your trigger finger is, how good your aiming is. And Black Ops 6 is kind of what showed me that it really doesn't matter what sort of cosmetics you have. If you're good, you're good, and if you're ass, you're ass. And I had to earn my way to the top this year for Black Ops 6. But it was just a very different experience than what I know Call of Duty to be. Because like I said, I haven't played in 6 years, so when I stopped playing during Infinite Warfare's multiplayer, because that was just so unbearable for me as an 8th grader. Sorry, not 8th grader, a 6th grader. I was in 6th fucking grade when Infinite Warfare came out, which is insane. But that multiplayer was just so unbearable for me, and Modern Warfare Remastered was cool. It was just like, there weren't a lot of people on it, and at the same time, there was still a good amount of people that played the original Modern Warfare from 2007, so it was just, like, too much for me, and I didn't really care enough about it, because at the time I had discovered 2K, and I had just started playing basketball and, like, taking basketball seriously, so I was grinding 2K. I gotta say, this game is, like, literally the most mindfuck, brain cell removing Call of Duty I've ever experienced, but I didn't hate that. I didn't hate that. It definitely felt like an arcade experience, which is what, at the end of the day, I want a Call of Duty game to feel like. I just wish that I got to talk to more people and stay in the same lobbies when the game ended. I think that would have definitely made it a more friendly and talkative experience. And the last thing I'll say is I really, really hate meta builds. I know there are always going to be guns that are better than others, but it should be like, there should be a certain like attachment setup that's the best possible attachment setup you could go for a gun, but I just don't like meta builds. Meta builds, in my opinion, are really annoying, and I know that there are always metas, but for some reason with Black Ops 6 and shit, like the TTK for these guns are changing all the time with these new updates and shit like that, and I just wish that Call of Duty would get it straight and be able to just lock in guns and make them accurate and interesting and, you know, kind of different from one another. It kind of just felt like all the guns were the same. Like, most of the guns in each class just felt the same to me. And there were also a lot of the same like I said, the same shit. There's like 3 or 4 bolt action snipers, 3 or 4 semi-auto snipers, but they all act the same. Same thing with the rifles, same thing with the SMGs. I did like the gunplay, though. You know, I liked how quick it was to kill certain people with rapid fire on these super quick firing SMGs. But at the end of the day, I will say I'll give this game like a 6.5 out of 10. It got me back into COD, which is definitely an important factor. But it wasn't one of those games that like I would find myself enjoying the experience afterwards. Like, when I'm done playing the game, I would just always think to myself, why did I do that? And then I felt like I had to get high afterwards because it was stressful. I think that's the biggest thing, is this was a stressful game. And I just don't think video games should be giving you that feeling of stress, especially Call of Duty. So skill-based matchmaking better not exist in Black Ops 7, and I will see you guys on Black Ops 7 very, very soon. Thank you for watching, and RIP, bye-bye Black Ops 6.